Anin, bonjour, hello. You're about to listen to the story of the Chemong Portage, as told by Gidigaa Migizi, Doug Williams. It was translated into Anishinaabemowin by Maanii Taylor of Curve Lake First Nation and read by Ann Taylor, also of Curve Lake. It was recorded at Trent Radio Studios.
You'll hear it first in Anishinaabemowin and then in English.
Enjoy your journey.
Jawanang Chemong Zibi, Gupi Peterborough, Mi Il Chemong Portage Eje Kenjagadeg. Zombade ing Gi Nikawag Je Ajagawad, Buckhorn Zibi, Galower Buckhorn Zibi, Lovesick Zibi, Stony Zibi, Minwa Najiko, Zomjiwang Zibi, Midash Il Chemong Portage Gi Kenjagadeg. Ejikand mon gona ganin ga wind ma goyan, Chemong Portage, pane oma gi yamgad, pane gi abajitona wa Nishnnabeg, il Chemong Portage, meoja piga makwam ia ake, mi ema gi gatam gwik, je dawen jigang, gi guam gino, wesi, gawin dash yasi au atek gi batino, Meoja, mi au etik eje yad nodem nake eje ma jid young. Geyabe abajagade il Chemong Portage nongam, Chemong road dash jinkade. Gi nagon jade il Chemong Portage odi Peterborough, odi zamjiwang zibi nagujwanang. Ejnikadeg nongam. Din Nandamin, Udi King Street nakke. Mi Udi nakke Jawanang, mi matam gak Jackson Creek, gi Wedanang, Jackson Creek Ajagayan, giak go Chemong Zibi Gdegushin, pi Majdayan, Mkwandan, gigyak Jayan, Zanagad, gi Ajagayan, Poch Ajagayan Ishbadna, Midash gi ajagayan ebing gishmug, ishbudne ga ajage, ajweing, Jackson Creek, ge gije, ishbudna, naje degushnan, Chemong Road. Nawaswe, mago, medaswe, nakme, il mikan, jedegushnan, odi Chemong zibi, dawen dagnag, Ugi abajiton nawa il Chemong Portage. Nipapam, nanan, dwen gagan, meoja ugi weedgamon, kwewan, udi rice zibi. Pane dash ugi abajiton je, we wabmod nil kwewan. Nde makwenjage pane nake eje nakmug il Chemong Portage. Nake e nakmud gil mitigog mi il e madadoyen. Gooding ge gdonwen dag ninanik ugi bok benawad mitigog gi kandamawad nake gejang. Ugi madji gwag gil mitigog. Nigi nandam dash naga ba doab udi Chemong Road gnama nda makawa bejig mitig. Nagi makawa beje ajawing il zibi ge Peterborough. Miknan gi jichgadenon gi bemibdeg det bisin dabanan. Young Street emya gnabigak ake mi ge winwa gdanwen dag ninanik gi abajitonawa. Bekanad najmowin awan ill. What we know today as the Chemong Portage is the portage from the south end of Chemong Lake all the way to Peterborough. It was created to cut off the long, arduous trip from the top end of Buckhorn Lake to Lower Buckhorn Lake to Lovesick Lake to Stony Lake and then down south, full of rapids. It was time-consuming, so the Chemong Portage cut off quite a bit of time. Now, according to the stories I know, the Chemong Portage has been around a long, long time. It had a major role to play in early times when our people lived in this area, as far back as glaciation. The area here was prime hunting grounds for us. There were quite a number of animals that don't exist today, that we depended on. I'm thinking now of Atik, the woodland caribou, who existed around this area. In fact, that was and is one of our main clans in our clan system that defines the way we relate to each other in terms of governance. So, this portage, even up to this day, has had a lot of influence because over time the Chemong Portage has become the heavily used Chemong Road. It originally left Peterborough at the base of the rapids, which we call Nagujawanong. We figure that to be around the King Street area, and the reason for this is Jackson Creek would have come out just south of that, so you had to portage just north of Jackson Creek, so you wouldn't have to cross it to get to Chemong Lake. So somewhere in there, that's where you got off to get on the portage, for practical reasons. Then you started out. And remember, in portages, you try and go as straight as you can. The problem with the Chemong Portage is that you have to cross the Park Hill Drumlin, Ishbudna, the high hill. And yet our people did it. I doubt they would have crossed it right over the top. My guess would be that they crossed to the west of it, around the hill between Jackson Creek and the hill, and then continued on straight to Chemong Road. Then you would end up at Chemong Lake, which is about 8 to 10 kilometers away. My own forebears used this portage. My great-grandfather, 5 generations away, married a woman from Rice Lake, so he had to use that portage regularly in order to maintain his relationship with her. I'm curious at times, so I tried to see where the portage exactly ran. One of the ways to do this is to look at the directional trees, where the old people would break a small sapling that would point the way. But some of the trees, even though they'd be broken, continued to grow to become big trees. And I thought I would look around Chemong Road to see if there were any of those trees left. Lo and behold, I found one, by a fence line beside the road about halfway between the lake and Peterborough. One can also find other signs. Modern society built their roads on these portages because they are well used and well packed. They became good wagon trails, and then wagon trails developed into gravel roads, and the gravel roads developed into paved roads. Some of the longest, straightest roads in the world, like Yonge Street, are on top of ancient trails once used by my ancestors. But that is another story.